The best advice I could give anybody in my position is hire your weaknesses. Don't go hire anybody that can do what you can do. That's redundant. That's just laziness. You have to go do what you're good at, and you got to hire somebody that's good at the stuff you're terrible at, or you'll just be spinning your wheels.
Thanks, Al. I appreciate thanks for hopping on a call with me.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for alerting me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hey, I just want to touch on real quick. Your name's so unique, Kyle, Kiel is what it's spelled.
Yeah,
Is there a background to that? Just
yeah.
telling people.
My mom didn't want people to mispronounce my name, and she just really had no clue how many Germans there are in this country. So she knew a little girl named Kylie, and her name was spelled Kyle, like a normal Kyle. And my
Yeah.
mom was like, "I don't want that to happen. Nobody could screw up Kiel. That's obvious." And
Hmm.
then obviously nobody said my name properly my entire life. So she meant well.
Yeah.
Put it back right.
No, there you go. Now we've learned something new. Tell all the
Yeah,
listeners that hey, this is how it's pronounced. So,
absolutely. Yeah, it's
uh,
Kyle.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll answer the Kiel. I'll answer the law things.
Sure.
I'll answer the most.
Sure.
I'll answer the most things.
Cool. Well, tell me, how'd you get into roofing? How long you've been in it? Do you have background in it? Kind of all those sort of things.
I'm a little bit of a weird scenario. So my background was I'm sure you're familiar with Home Advisor and Angie's List. So
Yep.
it's based out of Indianapolis. My background was running teams and managing and teaching people how to sell to contractors and service providers through Angie's List. And there's like a natural progression for people that have done it for a really long time. Once they leave that role, a lot of us end up in home services just because we understand how the leads work. We just know how to work the system to our advantage. Roofing is really not my thing. I'm the business side of things. So I have to hire talent that is the technical side, like my expertise from implementation in the field. I know how it all gets put together. I know the pieces. It's not like I don't know anything, but from a quote unquote roof guy perspective, I'm not really good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I'm structural, organizational, coaching, teaching, training. I handle pretty much everything except for what happens on the roof.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Do you have a business partner and all that that kind of manages
I
all
do.
that, or?
I have a partner. We're female owned. We're co-partners or we're co-owners. She has her own job, so she's silent. So I'm the day to day. And on our paperwork, I'm the managing partner. So
Okay.
I get to make the decisions, and then unfortunately, I get to make the decisions. So
Yeah.
it's a win lose situation sometimes, but
Yeah.
it's it is what it is. It works
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah. How are you guys as a company? You guys, growing, kind of staying stagnant, or what does that look like?
he, so I don't know how to really do anything slowly.
Yeah.
I have built the infrastructure probably a little bit faster than I should. We are built like a medium sized company, like a $3 to $4 to $5 million a year company, and we just have to grow into it. So this is the year where we have a business development team with door knockers. We're finally engaging and utilizing social media the way that we should, and we're driving the traffic. So I have the pieces in place. I have my GM, business development. I have great salespeople. We have great crews. We have great labor. We have everything we need. So this is the year we kind of go from
Good.
1.5 to 2 million, but we're really in a position where we should probably reach 3 million, if not four, this year in 2026.
Okay. Oh wow. Good for you guys. So it sounds like you guys are like really trying to get that base, and then from there you can just kind of grow it. If you.
Man, it's amazing how much they don't teach in college, really, about anything,
Yeah.
except for how to work for somebody.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of there's a lot of stuff that goes into from an insurance side, and we had a crazy partner in the beginning that we had to get rid of, and just learning like the nuances of just how it all works from all the way at the top. I've run the business for people, but they paid it. They signed the checks. Now that I'm the guy signing the checks and the insurance and the labor and like every little dollar, what I mean? Like I was just a laugh. I used to say like, I kind of give them credit because I've never been the guy that every time money gets spent, it's literally my money. So like I
Hmm.
try to be a little bit respectful of like our previous owners and places I've been in the past. And now that I do see the money come out, it really is my money. you know, and they should take notice and make sure you've got your checks and balances and checklists, your processes and all that stuff in order so you don't just have leaks in your boat that you're not aware of, because for a little while there we were selling enough to be extremely profitable, but we just had leaks. You
Yeah.
got to figure out where those are. And then you find out that a crew doesn't have workman's comp, and they changed the laws in Indiana. So now they can't just be a sole prop and sign a waiver. Now I owe 10% of what I paid them because they didn't have proper workman's comp. And then you got to figure all that out. You got to take a loan, and there's a lot you have to know, and there's a lot that you don't know that kind of hits you in the face, and you don't learn it until it hurts. Fortunately, once it hurts, I really learn it, and now
Yeah.
I feel like we got all the things that we need, kind of where we need them to be, so that we can move forward and scale properly, which I'm excited about. I'm really, really excited.
Yeah. Good deal. Good deal. Yeah. Yeah. There's only one way to learn,
Yep.
unfortunately, for most people.
Unfortunately, man. I mean, I like to think I have enough wisdom to just be able to learn from watching someone else's mistakes. Like, I'm one of the only people I know that's never smoked a cigarette, because when I watched that video in school and they were like, "Well, if you smoke, it'll kill you," and I was like, "Okay, well, I just won't smoke." Well, every single one of my friends when I was still had
Yeah.
cigarettes. So, like, you know, I like to think I was a little bit wiser than maybe I actually am, but once I stick my finger in the light socket and it zaps me, I learn real quick. So
Yeah.
hopefully all that stuff's behind us, and we like I said, we can scale it and spin it up.
Good. Good deal. Good deal. And plus, back to your point where it's your own money. When it's your own money, it's definitely a different ballgame too. So you got to learn
And I'm
fast.
and I'm not an accountant. I mean, the best advice I could give anybody in my position is hire your weaknesses. Don't go hire anybody that can do what you can do. That's redundant. That's just laziness. You have to go do what you're good at, and you got to hire somebody that's good at the stuff you're terrible at, or you'll just be spinning their wheels. And I didn't hire an accountant fast enough, and just kind of did it myself because I didn't really know any better. But now that we have our finances in order,
Yeah.
QuickBooks was just a necessary evil for me to do taxes until this year. Really.
Yeah. Yep. 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 It's good to have a good CPA. Guys like, hey, we can save you money over here if you do this. You can do this.
Yeah.
That type of
Or
thing.
even just
So
goals like burn rate and how much money you actually have to
yeah.
bring in, so I can set goals, and it's not just hope to God we sell enough.
Yeah.
It's extremely stressful.
Yeah. There's a lot to running a business.
Yeah, man. There's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So earlier you mentioned you guys are set up for like a medium-sized business. What do you guys for next year? Do you guys think you'll hit that goal? What was it, 3 to 4 million you said for next year,
Yeah,
or?
we need to come up with like 250 roofs next year,
Okay.
and we have the roadmap to do it, and we have the people to do it. We just have to go do it, and by we I mean I have to hold everybody accountable.
Yeah.
So I'm used to. That's another thing that's harder than I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never had like an interest in power. I don't have a power complex. I don't tell people what to do because I want to be heard or because it's my idea. I just want to do it right. Actually, it's more on laziness than anything. I don't want to do it twice. You know what I mean? And when I worked for corporations, they set all the uncomfortable stuff for me. I just did what I was told.
Right.
So I could fire people with no problem because the warning system was given to me. And the training program was mine to create, but I had to get the results to not have to fire people, for pips and peps and whatever. But when you own your own spot, and nobody's holding me accountable to hold anybody accountable. You know what I mean? Like, and that could be harder than you think when you never had to do it before.
Right.
Especially because everybody's closer. Everybody much, much, much more, I don't say intimate, but I know everybody's family. I know their kids. They work directly with me every day. They're the whole reason we're open. They're the
Yeah.
whole reason we're in business. So it's not like they're doing a terrible job, but like not getting complacent and just being excited to be in business and pay the bills, and actually saying, okay, guys, we have to actually we got to go do a lot more. And you have to, or you can't work here anymore is kind of a new thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
When it's under my own volition. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Weird. Kind of a
Yeah.
weird scenario. Because I
Sure.
never had a problem. I never had a problem firing anybody my whole life. I've done more interviews than I've probably done 1,000 interviews for corporations in my life. I probably terminated for any reason you can think of, all the way down the list. I don't know, 100 people. And,
Yeah.
it was just kind of the way it just happened because it had to happen. There was no, I didn't get a stay. I couldn't, you know what I mean? I couldn't be like, I don't really want to, just had to.
Yeah.
Uh, and you just have to have that structure to just keep your business in a position where you continually grow. Because if there isn't accountability, you can't do anything.
Yeah. Yep. Completely understand. I didn't realize. I know during our initial conversation, didn't realize that you guys were kind of a family business.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
to
yeah.
you.
I mean, and honestly, I don't want to be because I'm bad. I know my weakness. I don't want to be. I don't want my employees to feel like family. I want to care about them. I want to do everything for them. I've always like I'm like a player's coach, right? Like that's I'm not saying I want to like be mean to people, but I really don't want to feel sorry for you. I really, really don't
Yeah,
because it makes things extremely difficult.
it
Because the
does.
business just has to have things happen to be, you know, you know what I mean? Like you just can't cut corners. You have to do it the way that it has to be done, based on your margins and based on your pipeline and based on your overhead and based on what you're paying commission. Like there is a number that has to be hit for you to be efficient, and there has to be consequences and accountability to make sure it happens.
Hmm. Yep.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I would like. I can't wait until we're like a $6 million company, and then all my people we like meet green,
Hmm.
and then they'll have their own people that roll up to them,
Yep.
and then we'll be back.
Yeah.
Then
Well, it
that I'm
sounds like you
very
guys are
happy
on.
with.
I was gonna say, sounds like you guys are on the right path to hit that. So
Trying,
if not next
we're
year,
trying.
I'm guessing the year after. At the latest.
Man, we
So
haven't had a storm. We haven't had a storm hit Indianapolis. Not like we need a storm. I mean, good roofing companies shouldn't need a storm, but we wouldn't turn one away.
yeah.
One just wants to smack Hamilton County. We could do 6 million. We could do 6 million quick.
Yeah. 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 That's gonna require a lot of growth and real fast. So you got to
Yeah,
make sure you got
yeah,
the
and
right
that's the
subcontractors in place.
problem because those are the things that I'm good at.
Yeah.
Finding the people to build a position in the time that you need them and getting them trained and ramped up and scaled. That I can do in my sleep.
Hmm.
It's the technical side and the making sure insurance was right and our books are right and everybody's
Yeah.
paid and the crew get paid and what happened with this call back to a customer because I just had somebody call because the skylights leak. Well, we didn't do a bad job. That's just wind driven rain. But I'm the one who has to field that call because we're still that small.
Hmm.
We get to the point where I can have people to handle that for me and I can just focus on what I'm good at. Very,
Yeah.
very, very,
Yeah.
very, very.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Yeah. Good. Sounds like you guys have the right people in place. For
Yeah,
all
I
that.
love our team. I like my team too.
Good. Good. Now, as far as like, I guess new business and lead gen is going to pivot for a minute. Are you guys using any new technologies, AI, that type of
We are
stuff, or?
trying. So social media has been, we've just kind of embraced it the way that we probably should have the whole time. I am just old enough I never, like taking a picture or a video never crosses my mind ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm going to be 41, this month in like 20 days. And I am just old enough to where social media, like taking a picture of my food or filming myself do something is just like
Yeah.
Chinese to me. I just don't know why I would ever do that. So now we have to embrace it because it's just the world that we live in, and we have gotten our social media exposure is probably 10x in the last 5 months, just
Hmm.
because we've been implementing some things in short form video, um, trying everything we can to just be try to get that 15-second hook and turn it into
Yeah.
something else. You know what I mean?
Right.
But we're doing a lot better with that. We're doing a lot better with some AI implementation, so we can quote pretty quickly. I can get you measurements pretty quickly. Um, a lot of times I can get you an estimate right on your doorstep. So before I leave the driveway, I can get you whatever you need. Um, but yeah, man, mostly it's processes around how to make sure that everybody's doing what they need to be doing when they need. That is more important than maybe anything else.
Yeah. Agreed.
Just have to hold them accountable, including myself, because the only person holding me accountable is me,
Yeah.
which can be hard,
Right.
really hard. I want to watch Sports Center and hang out with my puppies too. Like I want to not do it as anybody, right? But we have to. It's not an option. And then when we get the job done, we can live life to the fullest. Because I don't believe in busy work, and I don't believe in just going through the motions. So I just believe in getting what needs to be done right the first time. If you want to go take a nap, then that's your business. As long as business is being handled and we're at our goals.
Yeah. Right. Right. How many employees do you guys have, if you don't mind me asking?
2 W-2s and then 3 outside sales reps. So 3 dedicated reps, 1 dedicated business development manager, and then my GM. And then I actually just brought on, I guess I would consider him a partner, a friend of mine that I've known forever. He's owned his own roofing companies for 7 years, has actually just joined us too. So he's going to be an instant shot in the arm from a revenue standpoint. And I mean, from a technical aspect, just having him in house makes me feel 50 times better because now I know that I have somebody who actually knows the technical side in all applications for steep slope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if it's residential, he knows it. And having that person that I can just call just to make sure that I'm not wrong
Right.
is
Yeah.
unbelievably helpful to a guy
Yeah.
like me because I'll gamble it. I just want to make sure I'm right before I do it. You know,
I get it. It's good to have that support. Someone actually
just
you
did a
can bounce ideas off of too, and be like, "Hey, this is what I want to do," and he can come back and say, "No, it's actually just not going to work. We need to be doing it this way." Or he's like, "Yeah,
yeah,
it's a great idea."
yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, just like me with sales, like they can call me and say, okay, the customer said A, B, C, D, and E. I said F, G, J, K, L, and N, O, P. What went wrong? And I'll tell you what went wrong. But if
right,
you come to me like the skylight's on sideways and it's leaking, I'm like, if it's not wind driven rain, then I don't know because I
right.
know we installed it right, and he can go back and he can tell me exactly what's wrong, what I'm supposed to say, how to do it, and he can handle our reps and teach them the trade side of it,
Mm-hmm.
and I can do like I said what I've been doing for
Right.
15 years, which is
Yeah.
teach people how to talk.
Good. It's like, yeah, I mean, we're all individuals. I mean, we all have our strengths and our weaknesses, that type of thing. So that's why you just, like you said earlier, like hire your weaknesses. That'll definitely help.
Hire your weaknesses
Yeah.
and
Pi-
and uh, make sure your accounting is in order and you can actually have a roadmap to what you need to
uh-huh.
support what you're trying to do
Right.
and have processes to make sure that nobody can point fingers at somebody else. That's been my motto for every team I've ever ran. I want to remove the ability for somebody to point fingers at somebody else. Like there has to be, ideally there's nothing wrong, but if something went wrong, it has to be somebody's fault. It just has to be. Otherwise, you can't self-correct. We can't coach. We can't do anything if it's well. I thought he was supposed to do it. Oh, well, I thought he was supposed to do it, or I thought she was supposed to do it. You're dead in the water because now you're just stagnant. There has to be checks and balances to make sure that if production didn't get put in right, somebody's problem or somebody's fault. You know what I mean? If we had something the other day there, it was just a communication thing with a customer, and my rep was like, "Well, I thought Blake did it." Blake's like, "That's not my job. It's your job." Well, it's the account manager's job. It's the sales rep's job 100% of the time. And his rebuttal was, well, the communication from production wasn't good enough. So now we had to correct that. So now we have systems in place to make sure that absolutely everybody's aware of what's going on. And there's no room for that, for things to slip through the cracks. Because it's just in this industry, if you missed one thing, you're on a 6-week timeline, especially if it's like a custom order, if it's siding, or if it's, you got to order to match on like an insurance job or something like that. You can just overlook something super simple and find out you're 6 weeks out from being able to collect, and then that screws everything.
Right.
If you don't have a line of credit that can support, you know what I mean? Like you don't have like what do you call it, like not cash flow, but if you don't have working capital, if you don't have a secure amount of credit, then you owe your supplier money, and you got to risk payroll, or you got to do whatever the heck you got to do just because you missed some sort of an oversight.
Mm-hmm.
Or like you'll have a rep that has to go back and take extra pictures because they didn't take enough, or just little things, right? So you have to have an inspection checklist. You have to know they have to know exactly what they're supposed to do, and then I have to hold them accountable and make sure that it's done. And
Mm-hmm.
now we're in just
Yeah.
an exponentially better position than we were like a year ago. A year ago we were shit
Yeah.
show. I mean, I don't know what it's we were an absolute shit show a year ago, and we are light years ahead of where we were.
Good. Good. And then next year will be light years ahead of where you are today. That's the plan.
They say that first 3 years, they say most, it's like you get that sophomore slump. So we killed it year one, and then year two is like Murphy's Law. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. and then this year I spent digging myself out of the trouble I caused myself last year, and now we are actually like head above water. We don't have any problems like that. So it's gonna be good. I'm excited.
Good. I'm glad to hear that, you're on the right track now. You've learned from your mistakes, and then you just got to move on. That's really it. So
Yeah, it's all you do. Just yesterday didn't really matter. I mean, and I told everybody, I'm like, it's my fault because I'm the leader. So whatever happened is my fault. I'm not mad at anybody. But moving
mm,
forward, if you do it again, we this.
yeah.
And they look at me like, you can see in their eyes too, like, well, I kind of like it when you're a little bit easier going, but they also know that they want to make the money that we can make in this industry as well. And, you know,
Yeah.
just like me, if someone doesn't hold them accountable, they won't do it. So,
Right.
I have to be the one to hold them accountable.
Right. Yep. It's just part of the job. That's really it. So, well, thanks, Hal. I really appreciate you hopping on a call with me. I keep these around 20 minutes or so, not too long, not too short. So